Approximately $90,000 was spent on fuel to supply the needs of more than 40 boats, which participated in the 2015 tournament. According to last year's second-place winner Grant Miller of Abracadabra, close to 2,500 EC dollars is needed for fuel for his boat alone.
Well, as you see on the jetty here, quite a few boats in Trinidad bought up extra fuel to pump in, and after that we'll buy from here. But yeah, fuel is pretty expensive over here. Worldwide, we know what's going on, but what can you do? That's basically what you have to do, yeah?
Jonathan De La Rosa of Good Time says carrying fuel from Trinidad and Tobago has cut the high cost of purchasing fuel locally.
We normally bring up about 100 to 150 gallons extra with us, so once we get up here, we'll probably burn that off on the run here, so we just pump that back in the tanks. It'll probably save us about 500 or 600 US, but we will have to take fuel up here still, so it does help in the long run.
Two other boat owners, Stanley Dillon and local angler Frank Collymore, is not deterred by the cost of fueling their tanks.
We're going to put on about approximately 300 gallons. I think it's going to be about 1,005 US, approximately.
I'm averaging to use probably about 150 gallons over the 3 days. If we go out on a practice day, probably more like 200 gallons, so it's pretty much 50 gallons a day.
The chairman of the organizing committee, Richard McIntyre, says efforts will be made this year to conduct another economic impact assessment to determine the economic spin-offs derived from the tournament. The last assessment, carried out in 2013, indicated that about 2.1 million EC dollars was circulated in the local economy during the Billfish tournament. Colin Campbell, GBN News.